Charlie, it's yours.
It's our pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Kalpana Mandal. Kalpana, please tell us about your living histories.
Thank you so much. So my time starts now, I guess. So among all the speakers, I think I am from the non-academic background at this point. So I am a research scientist in a startup company in Bay Area right now. But I had decades of academic research, and how I moved to this point, I'm going to tell you. So moving back, so my childhood, it was in India where I grew up, and it's a small town called Raiganj, and as you can see, it's very green, and you can see the river, and close to that is my home, and you can see that there is a bird sanctuary over there, which we cherish all the time, and 164 birds comes every year. So it's a very and there is this university. So when I graduated from school, we didn't have any university there, but now we have it. So I would like to advertise that. Here, my parents, who all the time are very supportive. My father was in automobile business, and my mother is a homemaker. And we are three siblings, and both of them put a lot of effort for our education to make sure that we get proper education. Um, so as a kid, I was trained in music, and I used to read a lot of Bengali literature. That is my mother tongue, and all the time, these books I have read that shaped my life. It inspired me in many ways, the way in every step of my life. So after when I was in high school, I was good in math and physics. So one day my math teacher called me and asked me what's my next plan is. And I said that I want to do either math or physics. And knowing me, he said that there are good colleges in the city in Kolkata, which is the closest city for me. That's not too close because it was overnight bus journey for me every time. Uh, but yeah, he said that there is a colleges that's only for women, and I can go there and study. And my father took me there for admission in Bethune College. That is one of the oldest college, women's college in India. And it's I did okay. My professors over there were like very nice and inspiring. All the time they motivated me. And after that, after completing my bachelor's in physics, I moved to Kanpur, IIT Kanpur. That is one of the good institute in India. You can do physics in masters. So I went there. But when I went there, it's a very competitive space, and everyone was excellent, all my classmates. And I didn't do that well, to be honest. And I lost my confidence over there. But I managed to graduate. So I did my master's. But then I needed a job because I had to pay off my loans, which I had taken during my last year of my master's. So I managed a job. But my father said, no, no, I cannot go there because that is very unstable place, so I can't go there. So I was uh, here and there a little bit doing some things, but then I moved to Bangalore, Raman Research Institute, which is one of the physics best institute in India, and I moved to Pramod's lab, and where I started working on biophysics problems, and that was very little bit interest and little bit also like just accidentally I went there and figuring out what to do in life. But then I started liking what I do and he is a very good mentor, and it's this my desire to do science or biophysics. He plays major role in it, and I really admire him, and he helped me a lot. And he only helped me to believe that I can pursue research and I can do PhD. And I decided to do PhD abroad. So I started taking uh, I went for a part-time teaching courses just to save money for my applications, and because I didn't have a lot of money that time. So I did that, and but to apply in US, it needs a lot of money for application. So I applied more in Europe, and I got a fellowship in University of Joseph Fourier from Nanoscience Foundation, and I moved there in France, and I started doing my PhD in there. And in France, I really enjoyed my PhD time, and I had a very good mentor. And I worked on biophysics problems, single cell level, single cell traction force mechanics, and all these problems really inspired me. And I decided to stay in academia. And I stayed after my PhD in France and started working with John Baptiste and Bruno Go at Institut Curie Paris, where I learned subcellular mechanics, optical tweezers. And John Baptiste is a fantastic scientist, one of the honest scientists. I really learned a lot, and it was very nice experience for me. And then, and not only him or no, advisors, there are many people there who shaped my research career a lot, and my research interest and research experience. And also, I had good time with my friends over there with Amel and Karina. Uh, Both of them, they made my journey memorable there. Then I moved to USA, as everyone wanted to, for the good reason, because there are so many good universities. Started doing my postdoc at the University of Pennsylvania. Then I worked in Tarasak Institute for Biomedical Innovation, where I moved my research totally to a new field in biomedical engineering and biomaterials, tissue engineering. Tissue engineering, all these were very challenging. And during this period, it was very challenging for me to move from one lab to other, and also finding faculty position. I tried a lot. I failed, to be honest. Um, so it was challenging for me, and also to maintain my immigration status, like my visa. I got to know 2 months before that my contract will not be renewed. And then I was jobless for 6 months with all that, and I had to travel. My mom was not well, so I had to travel in India. So with all that hardship, I tried to become and try to figure out what is the most effective way I can solve this problem. And I did that, and I joined, I decided to leave academia and then joined this industry as a research scientist. So I leave academia, but I didn't leave science. So I still am doing that. Uh, so with all that journey and all these challenges, so what I realized, that what kept me moving forward is that I was not scared to take the challenges or the new step which is unknown to me, like either biophysics, biomedical engineering, whatever it took me, or whatever I didn't want to, I had done that. But with all that, I think that kept me moving. And also, I want to add that as a woman, it was challenging then, it is challenging now, and it will be challenging, I guess. But I still hope that there will be a future where I can talk more openly and courageously, and we will have a better future. On that note, I want to thank all the people whom I may not have worked with or may not have met, but all these people inspired me. And anytime I have reached out to them, they helped me. Especially Michel, I would like to mention, he is no more. Um, but I really admired the interaction I had, and also want to thank them. They helped me a lot without just by knowing me as a scientist, they helped me. So I would like to thank and would be happy to answer any questions you have.
Right. Right. Thank you for an inspiring talk, Kalpana, and I'm applauding on behalf of the audience.
Thank
Uh,
you so much.
so, yeah, so our first question is, you talked about this very challenging time towards the end of your postdoc, dealing with many different things when you decided to leave academia, and you described this as, asking yourself what is the most effective way to solve that problem. For other young people who, may be trying to figure out their path within or outside of academia, what advice would you give about answering that question?
Uh, I I don't think that I am the right person to advise because, as you can see, I failed there. So I don't think that I can advise, but I would say that it it's many factor that matters. It's not only your science, your motivation. There are many other factors, and I would like to say and take the sorry what take the opportunity that to say that maybe we need a change in the system to have a fair evaluation. That's what I
Mm,
would say. And I would like to say that love science and do science, the path you will figure that out. That's what I would say. And keep doing the good work. That's what I
yeah,
would say for the people who are still in my phase where I was in.
great, thank you. That's wonderful advice.
Yeah, sure.
We have maybe one other question. So you mentioned, that you early on you read Bengali books, and those continue to shape your life. Um, yeah, could you maybe say a little bit more about how that continues to influence?
The books I have read.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the book I showed actually he's my one of the favorite author. Um, so actually there are few stories, the novel stories where he wrote about the people like one is a girl story and one is a boy story, and it's from the people where I come from, the north part of Bengal, and how they come to the city, bigger city, and how they study and how their journey was from the childhood to that place. So there are few stories like that, and those describes and those gives you motivation or power all the time that to push your boundaries further and to aim big and to move forward in life. So I would say that.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to pass it to Shri now for one more question.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Kalpana, for such a courageous and inspiring talk.
Thank you so much.
I want to ask you, especially given the story you told us, in so many places, you were an outsider breaking into somewhat of a closed, um, exclusive place. And you had this experience in many contexts, starting all the way back from taking the overnight bus to go to college to Calcutta. Um, through this journey, have you redefined for yourself what success means?
I think that if you see the success, it's not a single achievement, it's the journey. And the journey which you can cherish, which you can learn or you can teach others. I think that would be the success I would define. And I don't think it's one terminology. I would say it's the life altogether, and it's the journey of everyone's, and it's unique in every way for everyone. And I think if we can keep move forward, and as I say, pushing the boundaries and learn and let others learn. And I think that is the success, I would say.
Thank you so much, Kalpana, on that very inspiring note. I'm closing the recording.